Ladies and gentlemen, what up? What up? This is your boy Crispy Daniels, and you are once again on another episode of Show It Talk. So, tonight we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. But this isn't no debate video right here. This is actually a promo video that I'm doing for a live debate that myself and my guys from the Retro 4 are going to be doing pretty soon on Instagram. And I'm just jumping on here as an announcement. But I want to see what y'all think here on YouTube about which franchise was better. Now, as far as Street Fighter is concerned, the first game, according to a lot of people, it did well at first, but I felt like it suffered from something I call the bandwagon effect. Now, once one person hates something, another person dislikes it, and the next thing you know, everybody think it sucks. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the first Street Fighter game, to tell you the truth, I didn't think it was all that bad. I beat the game 3 times actually. Um, the only pet peeve that I had about this game was the fact that the special moves only worked when it felt like it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Hadouken, like you just got to keep pressing down forward, and up. You know what I'm saying? And the punch button or whatever. But it was annoying, I know, but that's what got me through the game though, because I kept randomly firing Hadoukens. Now, the first time I seen this actual arcade cabinet was at a movie theater. That was the only time, really. But I got a chance to look at it, like see people playing, but I didn't get a chance to play myself. I was really young at the time. You know what I'm saying? But Street Fighter 2 is a different story. Now, when that game came out, that game was everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Hell, you could probably find that game in the school gym. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but seriously though, that game was a freaking legend for its time. I remember me and my older brother, we used to go to the grocery store that was down the street from us around that time. This was like 92, 93. You know what I'm saying? And they had the arcade cabinet, and we used to play in there all the time. I say every weekend. I also rented the game on Super Nintendo every weekend. I was obsessed with Street Fighter 2. Now, in a lot of people's experiences, they probably played Street Fighter 2 before the first game. You know what I'm saying? Street Fighter 2 to a lot of people is actually considered the first Street Fighter game. You know what I mean? You might as well say that. Now Street Fighter 2 also did something different that fighting games before it didn't. You were actually able to pick your own character. You know what I'm saying? Now, technically, you can do that with the first one if you decide to play, on second player with Ken. But y'all know what I mean. Now, um, this game destroyed a lot of fighting games before its time. You know what I'm saying? When it came out, like Pit Fighter for one. Pit Fighter was an awesome game according to a lot of people's opinions in the arcade when it came out. Now, when it came out on the Super Nintendo, that game was just a dumpster fire, and for some reason, it's in my collection. But anyway, when Street Fighter 2 came out, everybody forgot about Pit Fighter. You know what I mean? So, and the thing about Street Fighter 2, you had Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Champion Edition, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, you know what I'm saying? And on and on. And that was the thing about Capcom. They always released the same or different renditions of the same game, you know what I'm saying? And they've been doing that to Street Fighter for years. And people bought it, you know what I'm saying? And it was a hit. Now, Street Fighter 3, in my opinion, I wasn't really too much of a fan of it. I like the Alpha games better. You know what I'm saying? Alpha 1, 2, and 3. Now, as far as the Alpha games go, the ones I play the most is Alpha 2, mainly for nostalgic reasons. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't play 3 when it first came out. I actually played that a little later on, but yeah, Alpha 2 was my go-to Alpha game. But yeah, Street Fighter 4, You know what I'm saying? Then you got the different renditions of that game, and then you got Street Fighter Five, and then now we're at Street Fighter Six, which I have that on PS4. Um, but yeah, Street Fighter is a very successful franchise for Capcom. You know what I'm saying? Um, they didn't really try to, do anything different other than the EX games, which were not all that great. We had EX3 for the PS2. It was not a good game. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. Because I remember we had Dragon Ball Budokai, the first one. If for some reason the game wasn't working in our system, so we had to take it back and we just exchanged it for Street Fighter EX3, which was a mistake. You know what I mean? But anyway, overall, the Street Fighter franchise is a success, and it's a legendary fighting game for Capcom. Moving on over to Mortal Kombat. So, I first played Mortal Kombat in this arcade that my two older brothers used to go to. They knew the guy that owned it. His name was Nathan, and he used to have all the new bangers that came out around that time. You know what I'm saying? Especially Mortal Kombat 2. I remember because that was the first time I actually played the first game when Mortal Kombat 2 came out. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when the first one came out, I just never had a chance to play it around that time. I was really young. I was about 5 years old. Um, when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, that game it was like the biggest release at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was there one day, it was all these like bigger kids, older kids, like so crowding around the arcade, and I could barely see. And I was trying to see, you know what I'm saying? But it was just too many people crowding around it. And it was like older teenagers and adults. So nobody was playing Mortal Kombat 1 at the time. So I decided to go ahead and take advantage and experience that one. So that's the first time I played MK1. I remember. I was about 6 at the time. You know what I'm saying? And that game blew my mind for what it was. And when I finally got a chance to play MK2, man, that was the day. That was a good day for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, MK2, in my opinion, right now to this day, is the best Mortal Kombat game. Nobody could tell me different. Now, when MK3 came out, it was a disappointment. I did not like Mortal Kombat 3. The biggest reason why I didn't like the game was the roster. The roster was trash. Was trash. Now, a lot of people question as to why Scorpion wasn't in the game. My only, because remember, I feel like my theory about Scorpion, the reason why he wasn't in the game, because the actor that played Scorpion was actually fired before the game was released. Because you notice Johnny Cage wasn't in the game either. You know what I mean? And he played both Scorpion and Johnny Cage. So, and I think his brother Daniel Pacina. You know, you got Carlos Pacina is the brother, and Daniel Pacina was the one that played Johnny Cage and Scorpion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure if Carlos Pacina was let go too, because he played Raiden. But I felt like that's the reason why Raiden wasn't in the game either. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Mortal Kombat 3, it sucked. Now, Ultimate 3 was a different story. I remember playing Ultimate 3 in the arcades for the first time at a truck stop we used to go to in Lexington. You know what I'm saying? Now, Ultimate 3 was that joint. That's when I felt like they redeemed themselves when that game came out. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember we rented it for Super Nintendo, and we was up all night playing that game. Ultimate 3 was my joint. Now, moving on to Trilogy. I thought Ultimate 3 is better than Trilogy. But, you got Trilogy, Mythologies, Mortal Kombat 4, you know what I'm saying? Special, not special. You got Mortal Kombat, the PS2 games. Special Forces as well. That game was that game was a lost cause. I don't even know why they decided to release that game. You know what I'm saying? That game was trash, yo. And I didn't even have to play it. I just watched the gameplay. And man, I'm glad I didn't. And I'm glad they never released it for the N64. Yo, Sony, y'all can have PlayStation, y'all can have that one. But anyway, yeah, Mortal Kombat was another legendary franchise. So, yes, it's going to be a great debate. And I want y'all guys to be there to see us go at it because I'm Team MK right here. And then two of my guys are going to be Team SF. So we're going to be throwing facts out there from characters to story to gameplay. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good time. So, yeah, be there. Check us out. I would greatly appreciate that. But if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm about to jump off of here. Got to run upstairs, take a crap real quick, and get something to eat. And I'll talk to y'all later. All right? Peace.
The feeling is mutual. Come in, take a seat, share your thoughts with each, and preach it when you speak, so we can share kinetic energy throughout the brainwave. Keep us balanced out and all on the same stage.